Good morning, students. We are discussing for railway and airport engineering. Well, we are discussing about railway portion. Okay, wherein in the previous lecture we have discussed about one of the important component of the railway track, and that is sleeper. Yes. Well, in today's lecture we will discuss about ballast. Okay. So let's see what is ballast. Well, ballast is like a layer of broken stones or gravel or muram or any other gritty materials which are packed below and around the sleepers so that the load from the sleepers may be transmitted to the formation, and that whole formation or that whole construction that is known as a ballast. While talking about requirement of good ballast, well, the ballast used in the railway track should be tough, and it should be wear and tear resistant. Then the ballast should not get crushed under the moving loads or under the heavy traffic loads. Then the shape of the ballast should be cubical, so that having some of the sharp edges. It should not have any chemical effects on the rails and metal sleepers. It should also resist the attrition, and it should be sufficient durable. The ballast used should be non-porous and non-absorbent of the water. It should provide good drainage of water, and it should be resistant to the abrasion and the extreme weathering condition. It should be locally available, cheap, and economical in the price also. Okay, so these are some of the requirements of the good ballast. Then, if we discuss about the functions of the ballast, well, the major function of the ballast is to transfer and distribute the load which is coming from the sleepers to the large area of the formation. Also, to provide effective drainage to the track and keep the sleeper as dry as possible. Holds the sleepers in the position during the passage of moving train. Also, it provides elasticity to the railway track for the proper riding comfort, to protect the top surface of the formation, and also to prevent the growth of the weeds inside the track. Also to provide the necessary resistance to the track for the longitudinal and lateral stability. Also to provide a firm bed for the sleepers to rest on, while it prevents lateral, longitudinal, and vertical movement of the track. Also, it provides cushion effect to the track, so the jerk will not be affected. The ballast is also constructed to provide the effective means of maintaining the evenness and the alignment of the track. So these are some of the functions of the ballast. Well, talking about the type of ballast, there are total 6 different types of ballast we can use. The first, that is the broken stone ballast. Well, these are obtained from the hard stones, and it should be strong, hard, tough, durable, and angular. Well, they are most probably used for our Indian railways as a ballast to maintain the high speed over the tracks. Well, this type of ballast are very cheaper for the long runs, while the quality of this broken stone should be such that it is neither porous nor very flex off under the various weather conditions. Well, the initial cost of using broken stones is higher, but for the long run, such kind of ballast is economic. The second, that is the gravel ballast. Well, it is one of the best material that we can use for the ballast. Okay, after the using of broken stones, the maximum use of kind type of ballast, that is the gravel ballast. Okay, it consists of smooth rounded shaped materials which obtained from the riverbed, and it is cheaper than the broken stones, we can say. And also its drainage property is very good. It is useful for main lines such as connect state to state, or connect urban areas. So such kind of main lines, or else we can say the goods lines. Okay, so at that particular railway lines, such kind of gravel ballast is being used. While washing is required if gravels are obtained from the soil. This required screening before the application of such stones or applications of such gravel ballast. The third one, that is the ashes or the cinder, the residue from a coal which is used in the locomotives and other furnaces is known as the ashes. Yes, this material has a fairly good drainage property, and it is widely used at the railway yards to keep them dry and non-slippery during the rainy seasons. While the cost of such material is very low, this type of ballast can be made available in a large quantity in a short period of time. Okay, this type of ballast is of corrosive quality, and hence this is not used where the steel sleepers are provided. Then the sand ballast, while the sand forms another good option for the ballast. Okay, coarse sand is preferable over the fine sand. It is used on in important lines like sidings or the marshalling yards. Okay, so at such place we can provide such kind of sand ballast. While if the sand is free from the earth and the vegetables, it has got excellent property to drain off the water immediately. While it is very cheap and available at nearby sites. Okay, sometimes this type of ballast can cause wear of the rail top and moving parts of the rolling stocks. The next step, that is the conquer ballast. Well, this conquer is used as a ballast where other this chief material such as broken stones or the gravel stones or the gravel ballast is not easily available. Okay, it is cheap and has a good drainage property, which is used for meter gauge or the narrow gauge tracks. Also where the light traffic is allowed or light traffic is moving at such particular locations, conquer ballast can be used. Is soft and hence it may be converted into powder form under the heavy load, and also this may have the corrosive action on the rails. So again, providing it with steel sleepers is may be harmful. Okay, the maintenance of such kind of track is difficult, and that's why in the absence of broken stones or the gravel ballast, such kind of ballast is being used. While another is the muram ballast. Well, muram ballast can be used as the initial ballast in the new construction, and also sometimes it may used as the sub ballast. As such type of muram ballast resist the entry of the water, as it performs as a non-porous material. Okay, this type of material is being used over the black cotton soils. Okay, so where the track or where the ballast is to be prepared over the black cotton soil, so at such place such kind of muram ballast can be provided at the initial stage. Okay, for the new construction, as it prevents the entry of the water. Yeah, so these are six different types of ballast that we can use for the ballast. These are some of the material that we have already discussed, like broken stones, the gravel, the ashes, the sand, the muram, and conker, where we can provide such type of material for the ballast. So probably talking about the Indian Railway, the broken stones and the gravel stones are most probably used ballast. Now let's discuss the another topic, that is the specification for the track ballast. Well, with the revised specification for the ballast in the Indian Railway, okay, if we talk about some of the general properties, well, for that the ballast material possess few of the prime qualities, such as the ballast material should be hard, durable, and non-porous. Okay, it should resist the abrasion and weathering actions. It should be generally in the cubical shape with a sharp edge, and the ballast should preferably be a machine crushed ballast or machine crushed stones. So before using the hand broken ballast on the broad gauge tracks, prior approval of the chief track engineer is nowadays required, so that they can check that the stones which are used for the ballast is having machine crust or not, whether it is too flaky or too elongated or not, whether it is having a sharp edge or not. So these checks are nowadays very required before applying that material for the construction. Well, then, if we discuss about the physical property of the material, that is stone, which we use, then, well, the aggregate abrasion value of such stones should not be exceed the 30%, as well as the impact value of such aggregates should not be increased or should not be exceed to the 20%. Okay, so these are some of the physical property that required to construct that ballast. Also, talking about the water absorptions, okay, those material which are used for the ballast should not have water absorptions more than 1%. While the next, that is the size and the gradation. Well, the gradation of the aggregate is the most important consideration while we are using the aggregates for any prime construction. Well, when we provide the aggregates for the ballast, okay, it should have some of the size and the gradation. Okay, while talking about the major coarse aggregate, maximum size of aggregate that we use, about 65 size of aggregate, and the percentage of such coarser aggregate should be max to max 5%, and also the 40 size of aggregate should be used as a 40 to 60% of the total volume. Well, also if the aggregates are of machine cross, then that 20 size of aggregate should be at least 98% of the total volume, and if it is hand broken stones, the 95% of aggregate should be having the size of 20 So these are some of the gradation for the ballast. The fourth, that is the oversize of ballast. As in case the ballast retained on the 65 sieve, and that does exceed 5%, but it is less than 10%, then 5% reduction in the contracted rate is made for the full stock. Okay, and the stocks that retain for more than 10%, that should be completely rejected. So when you provide the gradation, and if the that volume or that bulk which is having a about 10 percentage and is retained on 65 size, those materials should be rejected. Then undersized ballast, while the ballast is treated as undersized and rejected if the retention on the 40 sieve is less than 40%, and same way retention in the 20 sieve is less than 98% for the machine crush, and for hand broken blast that value is less than 95%. Then the shrinkage allowance. Well, the sixth, that is the shrinkage allowance. Well, goods gross measurement either in the stock or in the vegans are taken, and the payment is made without any deduction of for the shrinkage or the voids. Okay. However, when the ballast is supplied in the vegans, up to 8% shrinkage is permitted at the destination by the consignee verifying the booked quantities. So these are some of the specifications for the track ballast. Well, the next topic, that is the renewal of ballast. Well, due to the constant hammering actions of the wheel, the ballast material gets crushed to smaller sizes. The fine crust particles fill the voids between the ballast particles and together with the dust or the sand or ashes, okay, from the locomotives. Well, it forms an impervious layer, and this layer prevents the easy flow of water through the ballast. While some of the quantity of ballast is also reduced due to the penetration of the ballast in the formation because of the blowing away of the ballast by the movement of trains, the loss of ballast due to the wind and rainwater also. Okay, well, these all kind of losses probably lead us for the renewal of the ballast. Okay, so to make up such kind of losses, the ballast is renewed from time to time. While in the process of the renewal of the ballast, the cross defined material is removed by screening through the screens, and a new material of the desired size is being added as shown in this figure. A screening process is to be done, and the material which are retained from that sieve or the wire mesh should be considered as the renewal material. Okay, the frames is about 1500 mm to the 1200 mm with expanded metal wire mesh and are put parallel to the track. Well, these frames are kept in an inclined position at a convenient angle. The dirty ballast is then thrown on these frames, then the screamed ballast is collected on the front side of the frame, while the required quantity of additional ballast is added to the screen ballast so as to make up the deficiency, and then the railway track is being packed with this ballast as before. Okay, so this is the procedure for renewal of the ballast. Okay, thank you so much, students, for your kind attention. I hope you understand this topic properly. I will see you in the next lecture.